Hello, welcome to another virtual Get Fit programming with Erie Metro Parks. My name is Emily Kuzmick. I am at mkuzyoga, E-M-K-U-Z, yoga on Instagram. You can find me there. I also do special events outdoors at breweries when weather permits or in socially distanced areas with bottoms up yoga. I teach at Soul Stretch Westlake. So if you visit my social media page on Instagram at mkuzyoga, you can find more of me there. In the meantime, we're going to do some more virtual yoga for you all. This is an all levels, about 15-minute seated flow and meditation practice. So wherever you're comfortable, whether you want to get out on the floor on a mat, honestly, you could do this on your bed or a couch or wherever. We want to make sure this is accessible to everybody. So finding a comfortable seat. If it's okay to cross your legs, if not, you can absolutely bring them out one in front of the other. But we'll start seated upright. And then we'll go ahead and close the eyes if that's comfortable to you, or just soften your gaze. And inhaling these shoulders up towards the ears and exhaling them down the spine. We'll do that 2 more times this direction. Inhaling them up. And exhaling them down one last time. Inhaling them up and exhaling them down. Taking your time, go ahead and do 3 times the opposite direction. Rolling them forward, up on an inhale, and down on an exhale. We'll do one last time. On your exhale, go ahead and leave the shoulders down the spine. And before we bring more movement into the body, with your eyes closed, setting an intention. This intention can change throughout the practice, but whatever you're feeling right now in this moment, quite possibly it's the need to move gently, take care of your body, take care of your mind. And in this increasingly virtual world, and I realize that it's ironic that we're practicing yoga virtually, but it's very easy to lose ourselves and become engrossed in other people's lives. The to-dos start to build up. And it's so important to make space for yourself, to simply sit and breathe and bring that gentle movement to the body. So whatever intention you'd like to set, go ahead and meditate on that. And as we breathe, we feel the belly inflate on an inhale. And exhale, feel the belly fall. If you'd like to open your eyes or keep them closed, it's up to you. We'll go ahead and plant that right hand out to the right. And inhale that left arm up. And depending on your flexibility, if you'd like to come down onto the forearm of that right arm, and inhale, really reach those left fingertips up towards the sky. And then inhale back up and exhale, same on the opposite side. Coming down over to the left and inhale, looking up at those right fingertips. And exhale, maybe we melt. We might not all look like this, so I have very long arms, so I kind of have to bend them, but every body is different. So taking that into account, and that doesn't make anyone better or worse for it. Because yoga is all about listening to your body and honoring what you need in this moment. Go ahead and flow a little bit. So inhale to a T, exhale over. Inhale to a T, exhale over. We'll do that 2 more times. Waking up the side body as we inhale up and exhale to the right. Inhale up, exhale to the left. On your next inhale, having the arms come out to the side, and on the exhale, bring them together in front of you and arch your spine. Maybe interlace the fingers in this Charlie's Angels-esque hand position. Navel to spine. And then inhale, open. Really bring the chest out. Exhale, navel to spine. Inhale, opening up here. Maybe the gaze is between the brows or the eyes are closed. Exhale, navel to spine. Inhale, open. We'll do this one last time. Exhale, navel to spine. Inhale, back open. Exhale, the hands coming down to the knees here. And then we'll go ahead and do small hip circles. So we're going to keep them small to begin with. So we'll inhale over to the right, exhale over to the left. Inhale over to the right, exhale to the left. And as we continue, we'll make those circles a little bit bigger. Maybe we'll go a little bit slower. Exhale, inhale. As our movements become bigger, our breaths become slower. And it's very important, matching breath with movement, yoga. One last time, the biggest circle yet. Inhale, feeling the side body stretch. Exhale. And then we'll do the opposite. So we'll inhale, begin with big circles going the opposite direction. Exhaling, we'll begin to tighten, right? Become a little bit smaller. And as we decrease the size of our circles, the belly becomes a little bit more active and engaged. And eventually we'll go ahead and come to stillness. And one last neck stretch before we move on. We'll go ahead, begin to walk those left fingertips out. And exhale, the right ear to the right shoulder. Maybe pausing here. And I can only speak to my own experience, but I have an extremely tight upper body, neck and shoulders. So these are always a hurts so good kind of thing for me. However, if it hurts so bad, please back out of it. We don't want anyone getting hurt. Option to either stay here, or maybe you want to float that hand off of your mat. And on the exhale, drift the ear a little bit closer to that shoulder. We have what we call nerve gliding going on. We might feel stretch all the way down the arm just by the neck muscles stretching, right? One last breath. If you'd like to take that right hand and apply pressure, slight pressure to the head, you can. Go ahead and inhale back up to center nice and slowly. Walk that hand in. Take a breath, noticing the difference between the two sides of the body. And on your exhale, letting those right fingertips walk out to the right, left ear to the left shoulder. Pause on an inhale. And on an exhale, if you would like to walk the fingers out a little bit farther. Option to stay here, float the fingers off the mat, really extending that right arm, continuing to drop that left ear. Option to stay, or if on this last breath you would like to take that left hand and apply slight pressure to the head without yanking, just the weight of your hand. Gently letting go. Inhale, walk the fingertips back to center. And maybe just doing a couple of kind neck circles. And keep them big or small. Waking up the body can be a delicate thing. You don't want to pull any muscles. Just gently oiling up the body, inviting some heat and movement in. And we'll go ahead and transition onto hands and knees. If you have a blanket at home that you would like your knees to rest upon, or you could always roll up your mat to provide extra cushioning for your knees, pillow, if you're on your bed, whatever. You'll feel great doing this here. So we're gonna set up in our tabletop position. And on our next inhale, letting that right arm come up towards the sky, peeling the chest open. And on the exhale, threading that arm underneath that planted left hand. And we'll go ahead and press into the earth with that left hand, opening up that right shoulder latch. And breathing here. Making sure the top of that head or the side of the head is resting on the earth. You have the option to either stay here, or if you'd like to lift that left arm and bind it around the back of the body, maybe grabbing onto that top right thigh. You'll get a dual shoulder opener. So in this scenario, we have the back of the right shoulder opening and the inside of the left shoulder. Even in this twist, we feel the belly rising on an inhale and falling on an exhale. And we'll take one last breath. Gently releasing the bind if you have one and planting that left hand. Inhaling the arm back open once more. And then exhale, planting the hands. If you'd like to kind of move around, do some circles on your mat. Maybe rolling out the shoulders or the neck. And coming back to neutral spine. Inhaling that left arm up. And exhaling, go ahead and thread the needle here. Pressing into that left hand, really opening up, that right hand, really opening up that left shoulder latch. And then exhale, softening, making sure the head is heavy, teeth are separated. Option to either stay here, or if you'd like to wrap that right arm around the low back. And grab onto that left thigh. You can open up the inner right shoulder as well. And breathing. Last breath. When you're ready, releasing the bind if you have one. Planting the hand and inhaling that left arm up. Exhaling back into your tabletop before bringing the feet together, knees a little bit wider than the hips. Sitting back into a child's pose. If this really bothers your low back, feel free to bring the knees close together and come down. Knees apart really facilitates the hips opening. So yogi's choice, whatever your body is calling for today. We'll go ahead and hang out here just for a couple of breaths before transitioning. Melting down towards the earth. And when you're ready, we're going to come up in what we call puppy pose. So this is a great inner shoulder opener if you want to adjust your knees. Very similar to child's pose. It's kind of that halfway in between child's pose and down dog. Letting the arms extend out in front of you and the chest come to the earth. You're really getting a great inner shoulder opener. If coming all the way down is literal torture for you, then come out. Always listen to your body first. And we'll be here for just 3 more breaths. Very nice. Go ahead. Walk yourself back, hands come towards your knees. And we'll go ahead and interlace the fingers behind the hips and open up here. Really getting a nice counter stretch. And then from here, we're gonna go ahead and turn around on to our backs. So kind of keeping our word and making sure that we're not coming off our mat for this session. We'll just do a couple more postures. So letting that left leg come long, you'll retain that right knee into the right armpit. If you'd like to flex that left foot as though you're standing on the earth, and go ahead and rock that knee side to side. And when you're ready, guiding that right knee over across the body to the left, and you'll roll over onto that left hip, so that's completely normal. You'll use that left hand to anchor down that knee. Right hand will come long. If you'd like to gaze over that left hand, you'll get a great supine twist here. Very detoxifying, rejuvenating yet relaxing. Providing balance in the body and allowing the body to open up in ways that organically it needs to open up, but maybe isn't quite intuitive to how we live our lives every day. We'll take 3 more breaths here. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and guide that knee back up to center. We'll do a quick counter stretch. So anchoring down that left hip with the left hand, go ahead and just gently apply pressure to that right knee with the right hand. If you have a strap or flexibility allows, you could of course grab onto that foot and open up all the way. It's a much more intense stretch. So if you're here just for a very calm, relaxing, non-intensive practice, this is more than enough. And then go ahead and guide that knee back to center, hug it into the armpit once more, and let that leg come long. Straighten out that low back, bop out the knees, and we'll go ahead and bring the left knee into the chest so we're not walking in circles the rest of the day. Interlace the fingers over that knee, bring it in the armpit and rock it back and forth. Getting out all the kinks. And then using that right hand, you'll roll over onto the right hip, letting that left arm come long, anchoring down the left knee with the right hand into a supine twist. Breathing. Feeling into the body. We'll have one last breath. Go ahead and inhale back up. Anchor down the right hip with the right hand and guide that left knee open with your left hand. Option to stay here or fully extend, getting a more intense stretch. Whatever your body is calling for. And we'll be here for 3 more breaths. When you're ready, gently guide that knee back to center. Hug it into the armpit once more. And letting the legs come long, maybe we bop at the knees. And then finding your Shavasana for this short flow. Shavasana translating to corpse pose, signifying the depth of the practice. But there are many indicators in yoga that suggest that this is when the practice really begins, when we get to turn inward and reflect and feel the effects of our physical practice. Beginning with the top of the body, letting the facial muscles release. Tongue is heavy in the mouth, jaw is relaxed. The throat, shoulders, and chest are heavy and open. The belly is soft. The hips are heavy. The whole of each arm from the shoulder to the eyes of the elbows to the wrists. Soften and release. So do the hands, palms, fingers, fingertips. And as you scan through your body, notice these different places where we might subconsciously hold tension. Maybe we can ask our thighs to relax or our kneecaps to release. Maybe we could ask our lower legs to surrender to the earth along with our ankles. Our feet are splaying away from one another. And the heel, arch, and toes hold no tension. And touching base with that intention that you set. Thinking about how that applies to your practice on the mat in this session, this practice. And more importantly, thinking about how you could apply that to lessons off of the mat in everyday life. How can we remain more present in everyday life? Give ourselves space to rest and breathe and move intuitively. Or maybe just trust ourselves a little bit more. When you're ready, drawing awareness back into the breath. Feeling the belly begin to rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. Maybe the breath deepens. And we begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Roll out wrists and ankles, moving the legs. You can go ahead and wake up the jaw and let the head rock from side to side. And in whatever way you know how, maybe we bring the knees into the chest and rock to one side or the other. Or we just gently press ourselves up into a comfortable seat just as we began. We'll go ahead and keep the eyes closed for now. Bring the hands to heart center. And press the thumbs into the breastbone, reminding the heart to remain open in all senses. Taking a big belly breath in. And then exhale, hinging at the hips to fold forward. Thank you so much for doing this short seated flow with me. Please be sure to check out other virtual programming offered by Erie Metro Parks. Or look me up at Kuzmick Yoga if you'd like more classes from me. Hope you guys have a beautiful day.